Have you noticed that Agentic AI is suddenly a thing? In the past year, Agentic AI has moved from research labs into talking points on product releases. Last year's god-awful software that sucked away at your life force is now able to do big chunks of your mundane work with ease. And way beyond assisting you with a given task, and more like acting fully independently. Doing the planning for you, helping out with decision-making, allowing for uncertainty and unknowns, and then acting on all of that. Oil and gas is not and should not be immune to this new technology. I'm hearing it regularly now on my various phone calls and briefings. To me, it's always been kind of inevitable that this type of autonomy, software making the calls, robots turning the valves, would make its way into oil and gas. But when? Well, on a recent podcast, a guest told me that they're already using Agentic AI across several hundred wells in the United States. Now, frankly, a few hundred wells in a population of a few million isn't worth much airtime. But it is revealing. Tesla, for example, started out as a sports car garage project, but after several hundred iterations, it then clobbered the global auto industry. Many serious digital shifts start out exactly this way. Small, narrow, and easy to dismiss, until they're not. But here's the rub. Roughly 95% of productive U.S. oil and gas wells were drilled and completed before late 2022. In other words, before generative AI was widely available at all. These assets were designed, instrumented, and automated for a very different era of software. Can they even cope? I've seen this movie before. A clever new technology is real, fast-moving, and already being trialed. Oil and gas assets, though, are old, safety-critical, tightly regulated, and deeply resistant to autonomy. New meets old. So what exactly is the play here? Let's start with what Agentic AI actually is. An agent, a bit of software code, is given a high-level goal, such as optimize rig uptime or reduce unplanned shutdowns. It's afforded access to data from the environment, or the actual environment where the sensors provide the data, historical records, logs, email threads, vendor records, maintenance data, live video, whatever. The agent then reasons about what it is that it sees. It breaks the goal into steps, weighs its options, and forms a plan. If you've messed around at all with ChatGPT, you'll know that these large language models are famously good at constructing a pretty reasonable plan given the tiniest bit of data and a whole lot of ambiguity. Next, the agent acts. It invokes the available tools, adjusts the parameters it set out, triggers workflows, or hands off tasks to other systems. And then after acting, it observes what happened by taking stock of the environment. And finally, it learns. The agent adapts its future behavior based on experience, either through memory, feedback loops, or periodic model updates. This is just so different from traditional automation. Excel macros can't learn. SAP doesn't self-update. There are humans everywhere, hands-on, controlling everything, making all the decisions, even the trivial ones. Oil and gas is a very hard place for autonomy. Start with data. Agentic systems depend on continuous, high-quality observation of the environment. But oil and gas data is anything but that. It's siloed by asset, by vendor, and by function. Governance practices are geared to the local instead of the enterprise. Metadata is a hot mess, and context is gone. Large language models have shown a disturbing propensity to make stuff up to fill in the gaps. And then there is consequence. In oil and gas, a single incorrect action can cascade into equipment damage, reservoir corruption, production losses, environmental incidents, and even, although rarely, catastrophe. Engineers see a minor upside gain opposite what's effectively unlimited downside risk. Goal alignment is tricky. Agents optimize for what they're rewarded for, And as inputs change over time, objectives can drift. What began as maximize uptime might become take some safety shortcuts. Cybersecurity moves into the existential risk bucket. Agents are a whole new attack surface to be accessed, manipulated, spoofed, and misused, but on delegated authority over critical infrastructure. For compliance professionals, agents are too opaque. AI systems, and even their inventors, often cannot clearly explain why models do what they do. Well, in oil and gas, all decisions must be auditable to meet compliance requirements. A log of an action, but not why the action was taken, won't satisfy the regulator. The agent decided is not a defensible position. I also worry about the loss of human skills to agents. Oil companies know that when they surrender too much understanding to their suppliers, they tend to hollow out their expertise, and then it's very hard to recover. The unpredictability of oil and gas defies such modeling. Agents might perform well in familiar territory, but give them novel scenarios, bad data, or odd edge cases, and the resulting behavior might create unacceptable risks. And finally is the matter of accountability. We like that humans can be held accountable for their actions, and they react well to rewards and punishments. Holding others accountable is central to the experience of being human. Agents cannot be held accountable in the same way. Now, these challenges aren't insurmountable, but they certainly are daunting. So where could agentic AI actually work? Agency and autonomy in oil and gas is best considered on a spectrum. At one end of that spectrum is full autonomy. Systems observe, they decide, and they act without human involvement. That model works tolerably well in science fiction, but it's a very poor fit for industrial systems, where mistakes are physical, expensive, and sometimes even irreversible. At the other end is the status quo, with rigid control systems, high levels of expert human decision-making, and even the tiniest decisions and plenty of low-level human execution is involved in doing even the simplest of jobs. Well, agentic AI is best thought of as somewhere in the middle. Humans remain accountable, but machines are increasingly assisting. Sometimes humans are in the loop, approving actions before they occur, and sometimes they are on the loop, supervising and intervening when needed. But never are they fully out of the loop. If we could sharpen this spectrum, the most credible opportunity for agents are work areas that are brain exhausting rather than physically demanding. Think of planning work, sequencing activities, monitoring complex conditions, and detecting the exceptions that deserve human attention. Agents could then coordinate across systems that were never technically designed to integrate, and, of course, today use a human to do so. They can prepare decisions, identify the trade-offs, and recommend the next set of steps to take, just short of executing them. In this role, the agent tackles the cognitive burden on the human workforce. Early agentic AI deployments tend to reflect this line of approach, with tight goals, low levels of authority, and a human in the loop monitoring things. This keeps the agents predictable, and their learning is controlled. How might you go about introducing agents into your world? Well, if oil and gas is going to benefit from agentic AI, the path forward has to be narrow and very practical. I would focus agents on a small, non-critical area of work where the consequences are low and the potential for learning is high. By definition, that means starting with something small and with very tight controls. You give your agents goals, but also very hard limits or guardrails, including very clear, simple permissions, explicit boundaries, and immediate escalation. Just like the human workforce, an agent should only have the level of authority that the organization is prepared to audit explain, and defend. Next, I would make sure I trust the agent before I get hung up on its performance. Predictability and reliability should not be sacrificed for faster optimization or lower cost. Trust, of course, comes from anticipating what the agent will do given a set of conditions, being able to explain the agent's reasoning behind its recommendations, and agreeing that the agent acted appropriately. So until this threshold is met, scaling up is not plausible. I would treat agentic AI as more of an operating model change and less of an IT software deployment. Since agents alter how work is planned, how decisions are prepared, who does what, well, they change accountabilities, they change organizational approaches, and human resource needs. The real benefit to agentic AI will come from alternative resource models, accelerated decisions, and very different cost structures. Organizations that miss this part will have just added a new controversial actor into their environments. And finally, I'd scale up only after failure modes are fully understood and accepted. Every autonomous loop, even the most highly engineered ones, will fail at some point. You don't want to be discovering that the basics still don't work during an incident review. Agentic AI is here to stay. It's already in use in the industry, and as a learning technology, it will only get better. But with foresight and care, these agents can reduce the burden on the human workforce, improve the overall system performance, and at a pace faster than humans can alone. I can't wait to see where this goes.